There we go. Yeah. Surprise. Supplies. TikTok Live. Pop up just because I felt like it. So those of you who are, I guess, subscribe to me on the thing. There we go. Subscribe to me on TikTok. You hopefully will have been notified that I went live. I don't quite know how that kind of thing works, but I just got off a coaching call and I had a wee bit of time this morning. So look at me. I show up when I promise, and then sometimes I ideally will surprise and delight you. So for the next hour or so, I will be here to help you with your clutter and your stuff, and answer any questions that you may have um, about like creating a toolkit. This is what we were just talking about on my last call, is creating a set of tools, a way of thinking, a way of doing things that works for you to declutter in a way that makes it easy. Oh my gosh, you guys, do not make it more difficult for yourself. Do not make your decluttering more difficult for yourself. I can help you make it less difficult, more easy. I am here for you to do that, okay? Good morning, Teresa Griffin. Nice to see you. You gave me a little cup of coffee. I got my little cups right here. You'll notice I'm using the same mug as yesterday because, it's just how I roll. But let's make it easy. I know so many people you may be thinking of decluttering like, oh my God, I have to do this thing. If you have to do it, maybe that's the wrong way of thinking of it. How about this? How about you want to do it? Because decluttering is going to get you, and look at me. Look at me. I'm pointing to a heart here. This is kind of the destination heart right here, this orange heart, because you're driving your car on a journey towards this. When you're in the energy of having to do it, I have to do this, I have to force myself to do this. Oh, who wants to be forced to do anything? Okay. How about even just thinking about it? Why would I want to declutter? And then notice I'm being quiet. I tend to talk a lot, so I will be quiet to give your brain a chance to listen to the question and answer it. Why would I want to declutter? Well, my brain is saying, I would want to declutter because then I get a decluttered home. Then I can think more clearly. I can find the things I'm looking for. It's going to be easy for me. Easy. I'm all about easy, guys. It's going to be easy for me to find what I need, to use it and put it away. It's going to take a shorter amount of time for me to do things that I have to do. I got to make dinner. I rarely make dinner, but it's going to be easier for me to find the things, easier for me to use the things, easier for me to put them away. It's going to make it easier for me if I have a decluttered home. How does that improve my life? How does that make my life easier? Oh, well, you know what? It makes it easier because I'm not freaking out if a friend who I love unexpectedly shows up at the door because they were in town and just stopped by and said hello. It will be easy for me to open the door to my friends and welcome them in and be like, here, not instead of let me clear off a chair and have you sit there, that sure, sit down. I have my mugs are clean and I can offer you a mug of water. Easy. Think of how decluttering, here's one. What's in it for me? Decluttering. I'll probably do a TikTok video about this. You guys will be the first ones to know, and you'll be like, oh, I heard her talking about that on the TikTok Live. What's in it for me? What is it for me? Think about it, feel about it, get those thoughts that will come up because your brain loves to think, and write those things down. Okay. Karen Hunt is saying, how to declutter when I can't dispose of anything legally yet? You know what you can do? You can categorize that stuff and you can put it in a different place so that when you are able to dispose of it, it's already somewhere else. Make the decision. You're already making a decision of these are the things I want to keep and these are the things I want to declutter. That decision in categorizing is categorizing of things that I can't let go of right now, but I'm going to as soon as I get the green light. Put those things in an out of the way space. It's one step closer to getting it permanently out of the way, but it's a step in the right direction. A step in the right direction. getting it. And it's a lot of this stuff is baby steps. Okay. There we go. I love this. Laura Gibbons Voorhees is saying, hi, Beth. Hi. I had a great day yesterday. Sorted a whole junk drawer and put a bouquet. Oh, my God, I love it. A bouquet of flatware, of silverware on a gift site. I love it. Wrapped in walking down the aisle with your bunch of forks. I love it. Yeah, Strong Silver Soul Sister is saying more free time and more peace of mind is what's in it for me. Yeah. Decluttering. What's in it for me? You know what's in it for me? I spend less time doing housework. Yeah. I spend less time tidying up stuff, or tidying up happens a little bit of time. To me, tidying up is maintenance. But I get to spend more of my days where I have off from work, my weekends, doing the things I want to, as opposed to being stuck decluttering all the frickin' time. You know, how would that feel? Every single weekend of the spring and summer, to not be like, oh, we got to do the garage. Oh, we got to be in the attic. Oh, we got to be in the basement. Oh, we got to declutter that back bedroom. Oh, we got to declutter, you know. Start now. Do it a bit at a time. Get it done. And delight in the progress you are making, no matter how small. Because no progress is small. Every progress is huge. Okay? And I love this. Look at the positive ripple effect on Laura Gibbons Voorhees' relationship in somebody else's life. Hubs congratulated me on getting rid of some of the basement clutter. It is noticeable to other people when you do it. And I want you, though, to do it for yourself. Don't do it for everyone else. Yeah, Laura is saying, I want to relax. I want to relax and not feel like I should be decluttering. Now, the little quotation marks are mine. I want to feel like I should be decluttering. You know what helps? Is spending some time saying, yes, I will declutter. And then you get rid of the clutter. The clutter is not your good stuff, people, okay? Let me remind you, it's not about getting rid of the stuff you love. It's about removing the things that do not work for you from your life now, so that now and in the future, you are only surrounded by what works for you. And this concept of stuff that works for you will change through your life. So starting with the stuff that doesn't work for you in the past, used to work for you in the past and doesn't anymore, is a wonderful way to start. Okay? Yep, Kimberly saying declutter your home equals time management. Hell's a poppin'. Yeah, it does. Making the time to do it. Investing your time in decluttering pays you benefits, pays you there's a return. This is like me talking like I'm in a business school, but the return on the investment of your decluttering time is wonderful. You will have peace of mind, peace of heart, peace of body, because you can relax and legit not be like, this all the time. Peace, peace, peace. Restful. It's probably better for your human body when you're not all stressed out and your heart's pumping better. Maybe you have room in your house to move around and stretch. Oh God, I did a class yesterday. I'm kind of achy breaky. Yeah. Decluttering. This is me. Decluttering. What's in it for you? I can tell you because I used to be crazily cluttered. I grew up in a cluttered home. I learned how to accumulate clutter, and I didn't learn how to easily remove it from my life. So it took me decades to unlearn what I learned as a kid and relearn better habits. And even then, it took me a while to figure this out, but it was important for me to do it. And when I realized I did this, and boy, all of a sudden I'm looking around being like, this is awesome. Pretty much in this room right here, I have like one table that will have my clutter on it, like not clutter, but stuff that I'm working on, but I can easily tidy it up and put it away. And then pretty much in this room, I just vacuum. And I probably should dust, but I don't dust. You know, I walk in here, I do what I want, and I leave, and I feel good about it. I feel good if the door is open, we have a friend over, and they look in. I mean, it would be kind of silly if I was like a decluttering coach. Can you imagine, you guys? Can you imagine? If I was a decluttering coach and you came over to my house and this whole place was a hot mess, that would be kind of hysterical, wouldn't it? I trust you, it is not that way. And you've seen, because I do TikTok lives and videos from around my house. Sure, we have stuff in our basement. We're working on it. We have literally 10% of what used to be there. But it's still not at that kind of right level. Okay? I love this. Yep. Clutter is stuff, obstacles to life's opportunities. It totally is. Totally is, because you know what? When you are spending time with your clutter, you're not spending time doing other things that could make a benefit in your life. So that's why I like to say, deal with the clutter, get it out of the way, so other opportunities can appear. And declutter at a pace that works for you. Say yes to opportunities. Feel good about the decisions you make. If you say, well, I was going to declutter on Saturday, but suddenly, unexpectedly, friends are coming into town. We haven't seen them in forever. Oh my God, don't spend time doing your decluttering. Go see your people. Now, if you're like, well, I said I was going to declutter, but then instead I'm spending 4 hours on the phone scrolling on TikTok, that's a different thing, right? And I love this. Gail is actually saying it actually can be fun. It is, because you know what you're doing when you're decluttering? You are removing the stuff that doesn't work, so you're left with the stuff that does. And you have much more clarity about what you want in your life. And when you have clarity about what you want in your life and what you don't want in your life, you will inevitably say yes to the stuff you want more of, and you can easily say no to the stuff you don't want. And you can easily say it, and it's not even guilty. You're like, here's a phrase I would love to, I feel like I'm getting some good things here for some future TikToks. So like, what's in it for me is a good one. And also, now I just lost it. Hold on. It'll come to me. This is when I get good ideas. And regardless, okay, it can be free, doing this, getting rid of the stuff more easily in the thing. I will come up with it. Oh, here it is. See, isn't it good that I stuck with myself? Thank you, but no. Thank you. Oh, thank you for thinking of me, but no. Thank you, but no. Here, this is something from my toolkit. I'm giving it to you to share it. Doesn't mean I don't have it anymore. It means you can have it. When somebody offers you something that you don't want, whether it's an opportunity, whether it's like a Pyrex, well, not Pyrex, but like something they picked up that you're not totally cool with. Thank you. Oh, thank you for thinking of me. No, you know what? We're not going to be able to do that because there's something else I would rather do. Oh, thank you. And sometimes, trust me, I know the gifting process. Oh, thank you. But you can say, but no, in your own brain, and then find a way to not guilt yourself into keeping it, but find an immediate place to rehome it. Okay? I love it. Sinito says, my husband and I started yesterday. It's absolutely freeing to declutter 15 years worth of stuff. Yes. Imagine, folks, imagine for a moment that every single piece of clutter you had was attached to your body. That you were walking around with the weight of 15 years worth of stuff you don't want. Not the good stuff. The stuff you don't want is weighing you down. It's kind of, I'm thinking of this Monkey Song salesman, and I'm thinking of the person that with the junk man that would come around and just, with the, back in the, you see the things with the guy with the wagon with all the junk. Imagine how weighed down you are with all the stuff you don't want. And every time you remove a piece of clutter, suddenly it begins to feel lighter. Suddenly it's easier to move through the world when you're feeling lighter. You're more nimble. You can move around and not be laden with stuff. Doesn't that feel good? Trust me, the only reason I do my one-on-one coaching, my TikTok lives, is to make you feel good, to help you realize you can do things to make you feel better. And being a certified life coach, I tend to be like, this applies to your life, but sometimes that can be overwhelming. I don't know what to do with my life, so I'm not going to do anything. No, chunk it down. Learn some skills that can help your life, but chunk it down into the decluttering. Decluttering, the way I teach it, is a repeatable process that you can apply so many different places. And we start and you practice with the clutter. Deciding what to say yes to, deciding what to say no to, and then doing something about it. Okay? All right. S74 is saying how to help a relative without being critical. Don't be critical. Yeah, they know it's a problem. Show up in the energy of love. Now, I am not a hippie, nor do I play one on TV, but I will say that there is a difference, and I bet you know this feeling. Now, when I describe this when I'm doing my TikTok lives and when I'm coaching, what I always think of, and so this is one of the times that if you are decluttering and not watching the screen, you've probably heard this before, but I want you to look at the screen for a minute because I want you to think of this. As humans, we have like this kind of line dividing us. Bilateral symmetry. Ooh, I'm getting fancy. You know, one eye over here, one eye over here, one hand over here, one over here. I want you to think of that kind of dividing line as a wonderful kind of alignment. You know, when people say you're in alignment, it's kind of like everything is working well here. What I want to offer to you is when you're being critical is on one side, the unhelpful side of whatever you're doing. There's going to be criticism, shame, guilt, anger, resentment. All the unhelpfuls are on one side. There is another side to the story. On the other hand, there is an opposite to that. When you stop being the unhelpfuls, you can start being the helpfuls. So check your vibe. Check yourself for sweatpants if my sister's watching. Know that your energy will make a difference in your outcome, both for yourself and for other people. I don't show up and do you notice how if you've watched, I think I have, I should look at this just for my own thing. I have been doing TikTok lives here on TikTok, because that's TikTok live, for over a year. And I have recorded many of them. I didn't start out recording them, okay? But somebody suggested it. This is crazy to me, you guys. I will share this with you. This blows my mind because I didn't think it was this much. There are 171 recorded TikTok lives available to you for free on my YouTube channel. You will notice in every single one of them, I never show up judgy, criticizingly, mean, belittling. No. Show up in the energy of encouragement. You got this. I love you. You can do this. I believe in you. I see your struggle and I'm only here to help, and I'm not trying to hurt. What can I do to help you? And then I'll do that. So your vibe means a lot to other people and to yourself. You will notice that in all of those TikTok lives, and feel free to, please, they're there for you to use them. I charge for my one-on-one coaching. I feel so good about that, but because I also know I give away so much free stuff to help people, right? That's how it works. But notice that when you show up for yourself even, not even the relative, don't be critical. Don't judge yourself. Don't beat yourself up. That doesn't help. It actually hurts. So start to help by not hurting yourself. Okay? So Kim Christensen, good morning to you too. And I feel bad because I usually just jump right into things and I realized I wasn't being polite. So for those of you who have never seen me before or met me, hey, my name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. Here on TikTok, destinationdecluttered.com is my website. And as I mentioned, I've got the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. That's mainly just seriously where I use that as a place for you to, for me to house all of my recorded TikTok lives that you can listen to, like podcasts, putting them on in the background. A lot of people say putting them on in the background when they're decluttering just makes them feel better about stuff. Also, just so you know, if you've never met me before, Kim, I saw Kim Christensen. I do one-on-one paid coaching with clients, you, me, one, just you. I do it on Zoom. So even though I'm in the Philadelphia area of the United States, you can be anywhere across the country as I look at my map of clients. And that's a 10-week package of one session per week of an hour of Zoom calls just for us. And it goes from there. Okay. If you're interested in that, go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com. You can see where you can schedule a consultation. It's free. It's just a conversation between the two of us to see if coaching is going to feel like it's going to work for you. The other thing you can do on the website too is join the mailing list. The mailing list is also free. That is just a really cool place to, basically we do a free monthly Zoom call to give you a taste of what the power of one-on-one coaching is. Somebody listening to you, somebody paying attention to you, somebody listening to what you're struggling with fresh ears and eyes to help you look at things in a way that you might not be able to see because you're so close. I always think of this as like being a co-pilot in a road trip, because sometimes when you're driving and you're doing your stuff, you can't see what's there. But me, I can look around and notice things that you might not notice. And then with love and curiosity being like, hey, how about this? Do you notice when this happens, you're doing this? Let's try something different. See if it works. Okay? We make a plan. We cheer you on the wins. And we get curious, not judgmental, about what you're struggling with so that you can do different next time, different to better, and practice and practice. So I hope that helps you know who I am and what I do. As far as TikTok lives go, I will say, this is a complete pop-up. I call it a pop-up because sometimes I feel like doing one. I'm wacky like that. So I will show up and do one. Inevitably, what I'm hoping it does is it exposes me to people who've not heard from me before, who might even want to just start by following my TikTok page. So if you like what you hear, maybe follow my TikTok page. I also do scheduled TikTok lives. They're on a schedule, and actually the schedule, I think the last scheduled one for this month is tomorrow, because then the beginning of the month is next week. The people on the mailing list, you'll know before anybody else when I'm showing up next week. So if you want to get on the mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com. All right, enough of that. Enough about me and my schedule, blah, blah, blah. Let's get back to you. Okay, now I just tried to scroll up, and it's working backwards here. Okay, so I love it when I'm doing this. Yes, hey, German maid, nice to see you. I am working back here. Let me scroll back here, see what I can, there we go. Okay, good stuff. There we go. Teresa Griffin. See, this is one of the things, I never want to promise this when I'm decluttering, but I have to share with you. So Teresa is saying, decluttering, I always find something I've been missing. Money, gift cards, etc. It pays off. It does. I cannot tell you, I feel like I'm making it up, but it is true. I don't lie. It's just a waste of energy. But I have had clients find hundreds of dollars in cash. A client found her missing diamond earrings. A client found hundreds of dollars worth of gift cards. A client they find things that were missing. They missed, that they didn't know, they didn't know where they were, and they're finding things that they were feeling bad, that they didn't know where it was. A lot of times, the decluttering, I will tell you, I have had clients discover money that helped pay for their coaching. I had a client once, I will share this with you, that a friend of theirs loved so much the progress they were making with coaching that their friend paid for their vacation away. I mean, can you imagine how cool that is? Now, I can't guarantee that's going to happen, but finding things that you were looking for, that's a bonus, you know? I love it. Kimberly's saying, I took your advice yesterday. Here, good. I'm glad you took it, because that's why I'm giving it. My clutter was overtaking my loft. No, don't let the clutter overtake your life. You can do something about it. And I love that you are. Holly 450 is saying, finally, a decluttering live channel. Thank you. You're welcome. I love doing these. I think it's fun because I know what it's like to struggle with clutter. And I now know, and I've known for a while yet, how good it feels to not only be decluttered, but find it easy to maintain my home. So I have so much more time now than I ever did for the things that matter to me. Okay? So glad that is helping. Yep. I love it. Okay. Become a hoarder after my boyfriend's passing. Yeah. Hoarding has an emotional component. When somebody dies, we all struggle with sentimental clutter, with feeling exposed, and frankly, anybody's death reminds us we're going to die soon, ourselves. Not soon, at some point, and none of us know when. That's why I show up so rabidly to encourage you to start now. None of us knows how many days we have left. Make the most of the time you have, okay? Yeah, Leah's saying, my dad left me 36 years of dirty stuff to deal with after he passed. It has been hell. I'm not surprised. You know what? The quicker you get out of that stuff, the quicker you're out of hell, and you'll do better for yourself. There we go. I love it, saying you've got a dumpster and currently getting rid of it, and it feels so good. Feeling good, making it easy, feeling better. Those are the things when I am doing my one-on-one coaching with people, and I ask them, so how's this feeling? Because I'm a life coach, I get to ask those questions. How does this feel? Oh my God, it feels so much better. Oh, I just feel so much better. I feel happy. I feel calm, in control. That's why I do what I do. Not so it looks good. I don't care how it looks to Martha Stewart or any judgy people. I feel like I want it to feel good for you. What it looks like and how you're doing what you're doing. If what you're doing isn't feeling good, let's do it a different way so it feels good. Okay? Yeah. Thank you for the love and encouragement you do bring. You're welcome. We all, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. This is my era of giving back of that type of stuff. When you share this vibe, it has a positive ripple effect. If I didn't feel it, I wouldn't be on TikTok. I'd be feeling bad and curled up on the couch and being all like, oh, I don't have anything to give. I do have something to give and I want to share it with you. Lee is saying it feels so good. Feels so good. Ba 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 da. Ba-da-ba-da. And look at the encouragement you get, even from the people. We're all struggling with stuff, but we're all here helping each other. You wouldn't be watching a decluttering TikTok live if you weren't struggling with some element of clutter. But there's something, you have stuff you're good at decluttering. Other people are struggling with it. We are here to share information. We're here to connect. We are here to do this. And I will say this, if they decide to do away with TikTok because this is where we can connect and help each other, make it a world and a life that we want, you and I will just meet up somewhere else. Okay? We'll do it. They will not deter us. We will still do this. What I'm thinking is the people on the email mailing list, if suddenly TikTok went blank, I would immediately get in touch with my people my people. I feel so greedy. The people, you people, ours, all of us on the mailing list. And it'd be like, hey, TikTok's no longer there. We're going to meet on Zoom. Hey, we're going to meet here. So let's all help each other and connect. Okay, yeah, there we go. Kimberly say my house, you've got deaths, and sentimental stuff is hard. There we go. Sentimental stuff is hard, so don't start with the sentimental. If it's all you have to deal with, sure, deal with that stuff and get it out. Process it so you have a quality and quantity. I love this. Do you find actual money or things can be sold? Yes, both. Somebody yesterday, Kara is decluttering her mid-century modern stuff so she can buy native plants for her yard because they had to redo the yard. And she literally has now sold items that she had been thinking, oh, I should probably sell this. And she's doing it and making money to buy her plants. Virtual Cat says, we found cash, uncashed checks, and gift cards. What I want to offer you is start with the easy things. Start with chopsticks, not, Rhapsody in Blue. I don't know. Start with baby steps. Start with surface clutter. What you're going to notice about surface clutter is it's going to be stuff that isn't where it's supposed to be. Now, what you'll find out, this is like a flow chart. I have training in making processes, so this is how my brain works. What you're going to probably notice about when you start for your surface clutter is that one of the reasons you have stuff on your surfaces is because either A, you just have this habit of putting it down and supposed to putting it where it goes, its home, or you don't have a home for it at all because it's something new, or, and this is where we go from surface clutter to stored clutter, is your storage for that item is filled with other items. This can be, I like to call stored clutter behind doors and drawers. And this is always where I'm mindful if my Boston accent comes out, doors and draws, Mrs. Tanetta, Mrs. Mama T, Grammy T. What you might notice is when you go to open up a cupboard to put more coffee mugs in it, that you can't fit all your coffee mugs there. Or here's the one that I notice is getting a lot of my clients, maybe this is you, your kind of reusable water mugs or whatever, like the Starbucks mugs or the things that you get like a free, the Stanley cups and things like that, having multiples of things that are getting in the way of you putting stuff back. Now that's when you learn the surface, stored, sentimental. What you learn when you're dealing with your surface and stored clutter is you learn to make decisions. You also learn about yourself and your habits. And then you practice doing something different on these very easy kind of chopsticks levels. When you get better at making decisions and finding homes for things and saying, no, I don't want that anymore and releasing it, you have those skills, you have built your muscle that when you do decide to get into your sentimental items, you are better prepared to deal with them to get the life you want. Remember early up on Thread, I said, decluttering, what's in it for me? You decluttering the sentimental stuff gets you a life that ideally is going to feel better. You know? You know, I say question mark. It's more like a period. I got to stop saying okay, question mark. It's more like period. I know what I'm talking about. Okay? Now that's not me. Oh, I know what I'm talking about, but trust me. I know what I'm doing. And that's why I'm here to help you. Virtual Cat took 12 bags to drop off last weekend, plus a van full of odds and ends. I freaking love it. I love it. Congratulations. Yes, the mugs and the glasses. I have a problem with them. Too many. There's only 2 of us. Now, too many. Notice the difference between not enough, too many, and just right. Just right can be the right number. You may find yourself, I was talking with a client just this morning, moments ago, about finding your favorites. Instead of focusing on the ones you don't want, how about starting with the ones you do want? What are the things you use most often in that category? I will share with you, and you've pretty much seen it when you look at my TikTok lives, I will often have a mug with me because I drink tea. And I like to, if I'm talking a lot, I need to lubricate my throat. You will see historically in all of my TikTok videos that I am using 1 of 2 or 3 or 4 mugs max. We have more of them in the cupboard because my husband likes different mugs. And also we have a few more in case people come over and they want coffee. But we have a right amount that when we go to use these, we can easily put them in the cupboard. Now, if suddenly we had too many mugs, suddenly doesn't happen. Mugs just don't fly out. If I make myself another mug and there's no room for it, then I say, okay, what other mug do I not like as much that I can remove and do away with? So notice the quality of the quantity you have. Pick out your favorites. Notice the ones that don't work for you. Get those out of your life as quickly as possible, and then all you'll be surrounded by is stuff that you love. You know? It's just that decision-making process of saying, what do I want? What do I love? What do I not like? Asking yourself a question. Notice where my hand is. The question is kind of up here, but it's really here. What do I want? What do I want? What do I not want? Listening here and here, writing it down, doing the things to get you to what you want. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I help you with. Kimberly's saying, I did have a sale and made over $300. See? You may be able to do that. Now, the people who are thinking of selling things, but you're not selling things, absolve yourself of that. Maybe you just don't want to sell it. That's okay. There is no shame in just donating stuff. The sooner you get rid of, I don't care how you get rid of it. You can even throw it in a dumpster if you want. I don't judge. What I want you to do is get the stuff that isn't working for you out of your life as quickly and easily as possible for you. How that feels to you is going to depend on who you are and what's important to you. Okay? Hey, I love this too. Virtual Cat is saying, learning to compromise with your resistant partner is key. So you're learning stuff. I learned which battles to fight. Oh my goodness, yeah. You don't want, love is a battlefield. Being Pat Benatar. Remember that one? I'm Gen X. This is how my brain rolls. And I probably have ADHD, but I love my brain and my life, so this is how you can work with it. Is you don't want your home to be a battlefield. No, you want everybody to be harmonious and get along. Peace on earth, starting at home. So choosing the battles, choosing what things are going to be important to you and other things where you're going to be like, that's not that important. Okay? There we go. Yeah, Strong Silver Soul Sister. I've been doing this with makeup. Removing what I'm not using to have room for what I am using. Yes. Okay, Paperwork Avalanche. I remember that band. They played at the Rat back in '83. Oh, I crack myself up. I'm always like, I swear to God, I would have been great on vaudeville, Broadway. Paper Avalanche. This is the time of the season, as the zombies would say. We're within 2 weeks of tax season. So I bet y'all are freaking out. Many people are freaking out about paperwork and taxes. Don't freak out. Calm down. It's not an avalanche. It probably feels like it, but you've got categories of paper. I want you to think of categories. I want you to think of what are the categories of my paper. One of your categories is probably, here's paperwork to substantiate my tax deduction. So if I ever get audited, I will have this pile of proof that this is what I spent my money on. Here's a pile of stuff that came from Blue Cross Blue Shield. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I should save it, so I'm going to file it. Here's a bunch of, oh my God, you guys. Seriously? See all this? This is a bunch of junk mail that my mother got in the past month that I visited her. That I'm going to go and I'm doing some stuff with this, talk about some TikTok videos, but you will have categories of paperwork. When you categorize your things, what you do is you enable your brain to not look at all of it, but to focus down on something. And when you can focus, you can make a decision. Yeah, there you go. What to keep, what to shred, and what to recycle, and what estate papers to keep. Categories. There we go. Take my clutter, please. I'll be here all night. Try the veal. I don't like veal, though. I want to say the pizza. I'm at Villa Pianos. Table 2, your pizza is ready. If you know, you know. Yeah, there we go. My mother-in-law got 72 pieces of mail, all junk, last Wednesday. You will hear, I probably the most, I rarely get irate. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but you know who I'm wicked pissed at? Is all of this junk mail that my mother gets, my aging mother. I'm going to do something about it. I am, and I will. You're going to be on the journey with me because what I find works, I'm going to share with you, okay? But boy, does that stuff piss me off. So, I'm going to do something about it. Anger is an energy. Am I right, Mr. Lydon? Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm on a rampage too. Virtual cat. You know what? I'm doing the same thing. I will walk you through the process that I'm using, and we can exchange ideas. There is a way to reduce the clutter you have. You can't necessarily eliminate it. As I mentioned, I'm a decluttering life coach. I've been doing this for years. I, too, have a constant bag of, bag for the Goodwill or bag for a donation or a box for donations, because you will find there are things you use for a while and you think they're going to work and then they don't. It's a cycle, but it's so minimal now that it takes 2 seconds to just put something in a bag and then, bring it to the donation place when it's filled. It's not a big deal. Okay, so Sam G is asking, just got a new job and we're moving in the next 2 months. Do I declutter now or after? Both. Sam G, I want you to think of this. This is a fun thing, and we do this even with my clients that are not moving. See this heart over here behind me? I always want you to think of this as a road trip. Destination decluttered. You have a destination of a new home you're moving into in the next 2 months. Everything in your house now, look at it and say, if I was decorating my new home, if I was outfitting my new home, because it's not just about decorations, do I want to bring this into my new home? Or is this a perfect opportunity for me to divest myself from, to let go of the things that are no longer doing it here? You get the opportunity, that fresh slate that so many people crave. So imagine what you want, and this is what we do in coaching, the very first session. What do you want your home to look like? Ask yourself that question. Give yourself a chance to process it up here and here, and then take your hands and write it down. Next question. Now I'm doing it quick because I'm, just giving you the steps. What do I want to feel like? How do I want to feel when I'm moving around in my new home and when I come into my home after being out of it for a while? Ask yourself that question. Listen here in the head, in the heart, and write it down with your hand. And then lastly, but also just as important, how do I want my new home to function? Now, functionality tends to be the right quality and quantity of things. Not too little. I don't want to have not enough, but too much. The just right portion of, I have the right amount of this that feels good so that I can easily put it away, easily find it, use it, and easily put it away. Easy, squeezy. Head, heart, hand. Ask yourself the question, listen for the answer, write it down with your hand. Okay? That's a great way to start. Then that's going to give you clarity on what you want to bring to your new home. Now, I'm going to guarantee you, when you get to your home, you will have made a best guess, but you're not going to get 100% right now. That's part of the process. When you get to your new home, what I would suggest is do not try to unpack everything all at once. When you pack up, do the things that are the most important. Do it in concentric circles. Here's the stuff we don't use often. Label it as such. Here's the stuff we kind of use often. Label that. But then when you get down to the core of it, start with your core stuff. It's probably going to be the stuff that you pack last. And the pack last stuff should be the stuff that you open up first. It's going to be the stuff you need to use every day. Then allow yourself to notice when you move into the new place, what's some stuff that you are living a life that you enjoy without having to open up any of those boxes. That's another opportunity for you to say, hey, I thought I might need this. Do I really need it? Maybe the answer is no. Okay? That's the process. That's the process. Okay? User 566 is asking about what about clothes and what to keep and what to get rid of. Categories. You have categories of clothing. Now, I'm not talking about shirts, dresses, pants, slacks, evening wear, whatever. Those are categories. What I want you to think of, you have 2 categories right now, I bet. Everybody, we all do. I bet we have clothing we wear a lot, clothing that we don't wear. We have clothing we currently wear that if we put it on our bodies, we could go out of the house wearing it. It would fit. It would be comfortable. Maybe I'm going out in a ball gown, but it still fits. And if I had a ball to go to, I would wear it, right? But I bet you have a category of clothing is clothing I don't currently wear. That tends to be where we want to focus the clutter clearing, because then you get curious. You don't get judgy. Oh my God, I gained so much weight. I don't fit in anymore. No, that just makes you feel bad. And when you feel bad, you don't do good. So feel better, do better. My body's a different size now, so I don't fit into that. Okay. Do I want to try to fit into that stuff again? Well, yeah, maybe if I didn't have to do anything and it just magically happened, I would. But do I want to make the effort to do the things to change the size of my body? Ask yourself the question, listen for the answer, and be cool with it. I know myself, I'll be honest with you. I've gained more weight in the past couple of years than I ever have in my entire life because I am a now probably postmenopausal woman, and this is what the human body does. I have struggled to do a lot of things to get my body to be a different shape. The juice is not worth the squeeze. It is so much effort and stuff that it's not worth it. So I've decided to just love my body the way it is. Let myself off the hook. That's my journey. So the clothes that I thought I was going to wear and I'm not fitting into, I'm more easily to let go of because I'm like, you know what? I'll just buy something else. If I need something else that fits in my body, I'll buy it for the body I have now, not the body I used to have or the body I want to have. So categorize your clothes. Pay attention to how you categorize your clothes and pay attention to how your clothing feels on your body and then looks outside, how you feel like you look in it. All right? Yes, may the rose rise with you, my dear. All right. There we go. One task I have today, says Laura, says, oh, it's 9:45 already. One task I have today is to only leave the things on my bedroom desk that I use regularly, daily. Yes, this is where I want to share with you that many of us think of decluttering as that giant pile of stuff that has accumulated over decades, and to knock that down. And once we knock that down, it's done. Again, this is kind of like the mindset of weight loss. All I need to do is do whatever it takes to get that stuff off, and then I'm going to be done. Oh, no. Unless you learn to maintain, unless you learn different habits, unless you practice different habits on the daily, it's just the weight's going to come back on and the clutter's going to come back up. Those daily habits of putting stuff down or putting stuff away, of what you exercise, of what you eat, those daily habits have an effect. This is a thing I never learned because I only grew up with people who let it pile up and then you freaked out and then you pushed it in boxes and bags and you put it down the basement and you said you'd deal with it later and you never did. That's how I grew up. Maybe you too? I don't know. It has taken me decades to undo that. I don't want it to take decades for you. That's why I became a coach. Because I want it to take you, it's going to take you some time. It will. You didn't clutter in a day. It won't lose in a day. But the sooner you start, the sooner you get the decluttering over with. And when you change your habits, it will not increase to the amount that it used to because you will have changed yourself. When you change your daily habits, you change yourself. But you're changing yourself in a way that you want to, that feels doable and easy to get the result you want. Okay? Yeah, dress in the present, not the past. Unless you want to go to like an 80s party, you know? Yeah, there we go. Virtual Cat says, lost 80, gained 50 after an injury, and won't punish myself by looking at the good old days. How about these are the good old days? Anticipation, Carly Simon, anybody? Right now, these are the good old days. Think about that. Tomorrow, we will look back on today, and you want to say, how did I spend my time? How did I spend my energy? What did I do yesterday that I am psyched about? That's why I keep, when I teach my coaching, keep a book of, what is Esther Hicks talk about? Book of positive something or others. Can you imagine that? The book of positive something or others. I call this my good book. I call it the book. I call it my travel journal, because these are all the little baby steps that has gotten me from 2022 to now. What are some good things that happened to me? Quality of life. What are some things I did to give me the quality of life that I want? And I show up and I do it, and I look for it, and the more that I do, the better it gets, and the better it gets, the more I do. It's like a wonderful dance. So these are the good old days. What did you do yesterday to make your life feel good? If you say nothing, what can you do today so that tomorrow when you look at it, you'll be like, oh, I did this, Yeah, the wins journal. Exactly. Your wins, you celebrate your wins. I literally do I even have it in here? Yeah, I do. Travel journal, the good book, the book of my life, proof of what is possible. I don't know about that one, but I'm always looking for different ways. Remind yourself of the good stuff. The human brain is wired to accentuate the negative, minimize the positive, because negative keeps you on alert for danger, but it also sucks you out of the good stuff you have done. When you're out of protective mode and you begin to enjoy the good stuff, the more good stuff will come into your life if you allow it to. If you're only looking for the bad, you're going to find the bad. It's kind of like, it's a category. It's a category of thought. If you're in your house and you look for all the stuff that makes you feel bad, you're going to find it. That's good, because that's the stuff you want to get rid of. But also, if you look for the good, if you look in your house for the items that you love, that you truly love, not just like, Dottie, but love, then you're going to connect up. There's going to be an energy. I always think of that kind of like sonar or radar, where it's like beep, 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 and it hits something, and it beep, 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 and it comes back. Do I love that? Reminds me of when I would go antiquing or thrifting. You would be looking for stuff that made you like, ooh, that looks cool, made you feel a feeling. You're being drawn by your heart towards it, versus, well, whatever. My heart wasn't in it. Right here, listens. Pay attention to what's going on down here with your life, really. Okay? There we go. Virtual Cat is saying, this is a great way to start my day. This is how I want you to think of starting every day. Good morning, Beth from Kentucky. Nice to see you. I get a wicked lot of Beths here. Maybe we'll have a Beth group reunion or something at some point. Yeah. Okay, Cat Mama just got a notification. Yay! Just happened to catch me at the beginning. Very cool. Yeah, so I do the scheduled ones that are posted on the top of my TikTok page, pinned video. But also, when you're on the Destination Decluttered email mailing list, you also will get the schedule of, every couple of weeks or so. I don't schedule anything out except for major things about every two weeks or so. Travel and all sorts of things I put on the calendar, but on the daily, when I get very granular, when I get very focused, I can only go about 2 weeks out because I have a flexible schedule, and I want to incorporate the possibility of flexibility in every day. Gabby, I love it. Gabby is cleaning and decluttering this morning. Yay! Tina Rogers is saying, I got rid of 3 boxes yesterday of baskets and cups of moms, and it felt good. This process helps you feel good, people. Don't you want to feel good? It feels good. You've heard it. It's not just me. Everybody else. It feels good, so do it. Okay? I love it. Yoli's saying, just while listening to you, I've cleared my bathroom. Bathroom counter and decluttered my jewelry box. It's only been 45 minutes. When you leave this TikTok live, if you've decluttered during it, and feel free, if some of you may be in the position of doing that, others, you may be doing other things, but when I do a TikTok live, or better yet, how about this? When you have some time that you've scheduled to declutter, go to my YouTube channel, put on one of my other TikTok lives in the background, and see how much easier it can be if somebody's there kind of cheering you along, giving you suggestions, giving you encouragement. They're only about an hour typically, so you can experiment with it. Putting on a TikTok live for an hour while you're decluttering, see how it feels. If it feels better, do more of it. If it doesn't work for you, that's fine. Do something else. But you do the things that make it easier for you to show up to even start the decluttering. Yeah, and here's the funny thing. Daniel Z58 says, sometimes I'll procrastinate doing something for so long, and then when I do it, it only takes a few minutes. Yeah, we dread, and then we finally do the thing. You're like, oh, was that it? So stop the dread. The sooner you do the things, I'm not saying I don't procrastinate. I procrastinate on certain things, but I am so much better. Better, not perfect. We're going for better. We're not going for perfect. I am so much better than I used to be. I get stuff done, so it's just behind me, so I don't have to deal with it. I know how much better I am with this because when I help my mother with her clutter, and there's these things, she's like, well, I got to do this, and I got to do that, and I got to do this. It's overwhelming to her and the way her brain is wired and her habits of 83 years. I have learned to do things differently, and I will be like, all right, Mom, just so you know, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, and I did this. It's a miraculous thing for her because it seems overwhelming to her. I have learned to make those things easy. Now, I will admit it's easier for me to do the things for her when it's not my stuff, but I have also gotten better at dealing with my own stuff. Even something as simple as opening up an envelope of mail that looks like it might be official. What could it be? Oh my God, am I in trouble? Is it a bill? Open it up. You're like, oh, actually, it's kind of cool. I got a new credit card. Yay, we're going on vacation. So check yourself for better. Don't expect yourself to be perfect. We're not doing this for perfect. We're going, and speaking of perfect, I can hear my husband, he's coughing up a lung in the background, so hopefully you don't hear it, talking about trying to do a perfect, TikTok live. Better. Do a little better today. Do a little better than you might have getting up this morning. Spend a few moments after I get off of this TikTok live, and I don't mean to point, that's kind of rude, but I just get so like this. So I'll try to put my hands down here. Oh, it feels weird. I'll be off here in about 6 or 7 minutes. Take a few minutes before you do anything else after this TikTok. Shut it off and just sit there and say, how am I feeling right now? Am I feeling good? If not, what can I do to make myself feel good? You know what's the easiest, not the easiest thing, but the place to start? Up here in your brain. If I'm not feeling good, is there a thought that's causing me to not feel good? The answer is probably yes. So notice that thought. Write it down if you want. What's the opposite of it? What's the opposite of that thought? Oh, I have so much to do today. All right, well, you know what? I'll do a little bit at a time. I'll get it done. Creating a more positive, helpful thought makes you feel better. And when you feel better, you're going to do better. And when you're going through the stuff you have to do, you're going to feel better. Okay? Okay, hey, there you go. Annalisa, this stuff is going to help. This happened to us in the basement too. Annalisa is saying, I just had my toilet overflowing into the ceiling downstairs, but I could find what we needed. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, Broken Pencils is saying 1% better today than yesterday is the goal. Yeah. I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. Yeah, what can you do today that's going to make your today feel good? And then tomorrow, when you look back at it, you're also going to feel good about it. Dopamine hits, people, all over the place. Okay? So good stuff. This is what I do on these TikTok lives to, over 150 people here. And this is what I do with one-on-one coaching. So if you're feeling, I will say this, if you're feeling the good vibes of this, just imagine how much more powerful, life-changing it could be to change your life with somebody who's helping you every step of the way. So that, I'm thinking, so next week I couldn't start any new clients because I'm going to a conference. But even if we started mid-April, by June, I do a 10-week session. So mid-April, I'm kind of doing the math roughly in my head. By July 1st, by the 4th of July, think about this. If you got coaching, what would your home look and feel and function like on 4th of July? How would you want it to look on that day? You got some coaching. How do you want it to look? Write that down. How do you want it to look now if you don't get coaching? How do you think it's going to look? Now, trust me, I'm not going into a heavy sales pitch about coaching, but there is a difference. When you struggle with something, sometimes it pays to invest in getting help with it so you learn a skill. So you learn a skill that then you practice with supervision. I'm kind of like a driver's ed teacher in that respect. You don't know how to do something, I teach you how to do it. You practice it on your own. You come back, we tweak it for you. We refine it. You practice it again. You practice. You're seeing results along the way. And it clicks and you're like, oh, I got this. Now I can do this for the rest of my life. It's just like driving a car. There we go. Tina Rogers, I just saw yours flipping by. Are you here as scheduled times? I am, but they're not consistent. The way you find the schedule is one of two ways. Hop onto the Destination Decluttered email mailing list, and this weekend I will send out the schedule for the TikTok Lives. Also, any of the coaching consultation slots. I'm going to add some more to the calendar. They will be the first to know, and I'm going to schedule the April Zoom. You'll find out about all of that stuff for free just by signing up on the mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com. Now, I don't force anybody to do anything. I'm just telling you that if you do the email list, you get all that. But if you don't feel like being on the mailing list, no big deal to me. I still show up for you. I do the TikTok Lives and I schedule them. The schedule is typically a video that I pin to the top of my TikTok page. Now, the only one I have officially scheduled, today was a pop-up because I felt like doing it. Tomorrow is one, I want to say like 9, 10, 11. I'd have to literally check myself before I wreck myself. Where am I? Tomorrow morning, Saturday at 9 a.m., I will show up. But after that, the only people that are going to know are the people on the mailing list, and then I will update the video. So I do these frequently, not consistently on regular times. I will say this, maybe it's just because of my ADHD brain and I worked retail for years. That kind of regimented 9-to-5 robotic way of living rubs me the wrong way, being a human, flexible person on the planet. So I don't do things. I do have some structure. Structure where it's important is great, but unnecessary structure, what is that one? Something Hobgoblin of Little Minds, something, the guy. You know what I'm talking about. This is my brain. I love it. I love it. Holly 450 says, long-term goals, minimalism, simplicity, and living on a boat in Florida. Notice the boat analogy. You only can physically keep just the right amount of stuff or your boat's going to sink. It's going to be heavier to move through the water. You're not going to have space to hold everything. I've been lucky enough to stay over on somebody's boat on a couple of times when my husband does a gig. I delight in the efficiency that you can only have the right amount of stuff. Okay? Yes, Eastern time. I'm all Eastern time. Here, let me throw up my Boston accent. God, Johnny. God, I'm from Boston. I had a frap. I had a tonic. I'm going to go get some pizza from Santapio's, and I'm going to get some Bob Pie from the spa, and it's going to be wicked awesome. All right? So, yeah, I'm East Coast. Even if I live somewhere else, I mean, I live in PA right now, so I probably say like water ice, but I say that for effect. I'm East Coast, so all my times are that, too. And thank you, Annalisa, for saying I think it's actually better to do lives inconsistently. You know what? Consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. Yeah. Like a stupid consistency. Like when I show up for my clients, when I do things that are, when you sign up for a consultation, I'm there. When you sign up for coaching sessions, I am there. But I also build in flexibility to say, oh, you can't make it that week? No big deal. We'll do it another day. We'll do it another time. We'll do it next week. I love to be flexible whenever I can. Sometimes I can't. I can't be flexible about me driving to the airport. I might miss my plane. However, whenever I can be flexible, I love being flexible. And that's why I decided today after my morning coaching call with a paying client that I said, I don't know, I feel like doing a TikTok Live. I'm going to do one. Now I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to coach and I'm going to consult. Lather, rinse, repeat. Okay? So I love it. This feels like a really good one to end on because it's top of the hour and I'm going to sign off. And this is going to be posted on YouTube at some point if you want to rewatch it. Phoenix Rising just said, I moved last year, got rid of my past life and items of that time. Now I live simply and happily. That's what we're going for, okay? And Snoogy is asking, and we can deal with this in a future session, but I will say there are videos on my TikTok page and some of my, pretty much every single Destination Decluttered YouTube, TikTok live recording on YouTube. Overwhelm is addressed. Overwhelm is one of the number one things that gets people, that people struggle with clutter. So Snoogies, I would say, look for some things about overwhelm on my TikTok page as I sign off today. See, I'm not leaving you in the lurch. I'm helping you. And check out some of my TikTok lives that are recorded, okay? You got this, okay? Awesome, you guys. I will see you tomorrow morning, perhaps at 9 a.m. Eastern, when we do an official TikTok live. Today was just a pop-up, but I hope this helped. And, oh my gosh, just start. The sooner you start, the sooner you get there. The sooner you can live in a life that feels delightful. And it's not just an all or nothing. You start feeling better, all along the way because it's a road trip, people, not a commute. All right? I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.